You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and it is mailbag time here on the channel. So, if you want to be featured on the next mailbag, you got to be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, go hit that big red button, and I want to do this. If you're a real one and you rock with Knicks Now by Chat Sports, type me down in the comment section. First question coming in from a longtime viewer. Shout out to my guy Jack. Says, what do you think Randle's trade value is? I think it's pretty low compared relative to the player he is. Of all the players in the NBA that are 3-time All-Stars and 2-time All-NBA players in the last 4 years, he has the lowest trade value. And I don't know if it's because he hasn't produced in the playoffs. I don't know if it's because he's had 2 nasty injuries in the last 2 years. I don't know if it's because he's going to be 30 in November. I don't know if it's because people don't think he's a winning player. But right now, Julius Randle is a better player and makes more of an impact for the Knicks than his trade value. So I don't think the Knicks will trade him unless they are getting a player that, A, makes them better, B, is a better fit, or C, a player that could be better than Randle down the line. Those are the only 3 ways I see the Knicks trading Randle. Or Randle doesn't sign that contract extension this weekend, which, as we're filming this video, it is Friday. He can sign it Saturday, so he may have already signed it by now. They are only trading him if they're getting somebody better, that's a better fit, or could be better down the line. Unless he doesn't sign it and they get an indication he wants to leave in free agency. Then they'll just try to recoup any asset they can get back so they don't look like the Clippers who lost Paul George for nothing. Pudgy Boys, Sports Talk. What's up, bro? Marsh, need your help with this, so I know I'm not crazy. I was debating with a fellow Knicks fan on why they still hate trading RJ for OG Anunoby. If you are still complaining about the RJ Barrett trade, you got to grow up. Like, you just got to grow up. Anunoby is a much better player. He has much bigger impact on winning. There's 30 GMs in the NBA. None of them would take OG Anunoby behind RJ Barrett. There's a reason OG just got $200 million. No one in the league would pay RJ Barrett $200 million. Also, you just saw Emmanuel Quickly get paid. Knicks were never going to be able to play Brunson what he wants and Quickly what he wants. It was a great trade. I do it every single time. No Switch, what's up, man? First time super chatter. Thank to you. Says I follow a Knicks fan page that offered Deuce, Precious, and a potential trade for Zubac. What would you do this trade? The only way I'm doing this trade is if it's Deuce and Precious straight up. I don't really want to add any picks. I'll do a couple of second-round picks, but I'm definitely not giving up a first-round pick. I don't even love giving up Deuce. But I do think that Zubac would be the best center on this team, and I think a center rotation and duo of Zubac and Mitchell Robinson would be pretty damn powerful, and it would equip Tom Thibodeau with the tools that he wants. I've always been a fan of Zubac. People say I look like him. I would do it, and I would hate to see Deuce go. I would. Joel King, Precious and Sims ball out this year. Are they gone? Maybe. The Knicks still do have the bird rights for Precious, and they'll also have the bird rights for Jericho Sims. So if they value him at the point that they want to get paid, they can bring him back. But you can't pay everybody, and we saw that. You couldn't pay Isaiah Hartenstein. That's usually a good problem to have, because if Precious Achiuwa balls out and he is now valued at higher than what he is right now, that means he probably had a direct impact on winning, and the Knicks probably did a lot of that. If I had to make a bet, I would say one of these 2 guys, though, are most likely gone at the end of the season, if not one of them traded, being Precious Achiuwa. Carl, what's up, man? Shout out to Carl, the OG of Knicks Now. Says, yo, Marsh. What's up, dog? I heard Jonas Valanciunas might be a trade option involving Precious and whoever we sign with the mid-level. Yes, there are rumors out there that the Knicks could package Precious Achiuwa and his $6 million and the $5.2 million taxpayer mid-level guy that they're going to sign. There are rumors out there. But it could not happen until December 15th because the Washington Wizards signed him in free agency. And you can only sign players in free agency once you get past December 15th. So that could be an option down the line, and that may be a little bit more realistic than them making a deal right now. I think Valančiūnas is an offensively skilled player. His defense has taken a step back, but a center rotation of Valanciunas and Mitchell Robinson is pretty solid. And I like the contrasting style of those two guys. We know Robinson is an elite shot blocker, elite offensive rebounder, whereas Valanciunas is a guy that's more of a scoring guy and can give you a little bit more skill on the offensive end. So definitely a player that I could see the Knicks pursuing, but it would not be until mid-December. 51.5 wins for the New York Knicks. That's what the odd makers out west have set the win total for the 2024 New York Knicks. Do you think they'll be over? Do you think they'll be under? I want to hear from you in the chat. Froze3. Love that name. What's a realistic move we can make this season that will help the team? I personally don't see how you do it this year. The most realistic move the Knicks can make is going out and signing someone to that taxpayer mid-level exception. Taxpayer mid-level exception, which is $5.2 million. And then you pair that player with Precious Achiuwa, and you have $11.2 million. Then you trade for somebody that makes less than $11.2 million. I'm going to be doing a video next week on trade targets for those two contracts, so I don't want to spill too much of the beans there, but that is the route that they would travel, Froze, to make the more realistic move. The taxpayer mid-level exception player, a.k.a. the human trade exception, with Precious Achiuwa. You pair those together, couple of second-round picks, maybe a first, and you trade for someone that makes around $11.2 million. That's really the only way, unless they're giving up someone that's in the rotation. And I'm not sure that they actually want to do that at this current moment. More questions in a second, but I need you to get hooked up with our Knicks Now Real One t-shirt. We've got blue. We've got black. Get your today. Chatsports.com/realknicks. Are you a real one? Prove it. Go right here. Get your shirt. They're swaggy and all the cool kids got them. Chatsports.com/realknicks. That's chatsports.com/realknicks. Stay mellow. $10 super chat. Shout out to you. It says, can our team, recently constructed, beat a healthy and hungry Milwaukee team this year? Or do we need more moves? Jonas and Dame are nothing to sleep on. I think the Knicks beat the Bucks in 5 games. If we are healthy and they are healthy, we beat them in 5 games. Who is guarding Jalen Brunson? They have no defensive guards. You putting Damian Lillard on Jalen Brunson, he's cooked. You say Jonas and Dame are nothing to sleep on. Giannis is nothing to sleep on. I think Damian Lillard is washed. I think he's a foul merchant. I think he's a product of the NBA at this point. Still a good player. He's not a great player anymore. He doesn't guard. He, in my opinion, is just a score-first player at this point that really isn't all that efficient. I'm going to just look at his stats. I'm really confident in what they were. Yeah, Damian Lillard shot 42% from the field, 35% from 3. He's not the – it ain't Portland no more. Dame time, it ain't Dame time no more. It's getting late. He's getting real late at Dame time. I think the Knicks cook the Bucks. I really do. Giannis will be the best player in the series, but after that, I think the Knicks have the best – Randle's better than Dame. Brunson's better than Dame. OG's better than Dame. And Mikal Bridges is better than Dame. So of the top 5 players in the series, the Knicks have 4. And, of course, as we know, this is Damian Lillard. All he does is flop. He wants to live at the free throw line. Justin, what's up, bro? Do you think Julius Randle would take less than what he's expected to receive when he factors in his injury history and he's also 30 years old and hasn't showed up at the playoffs yet? Yeah, sounds like you just made a pretty damn good point for him to take less. On top of the fact that Jalen Brunson took less and the fact that Mikal Bridges is going to take less. Look, I don't know. The Knicks can sign Julius Randle this weekend to an extension. 4 years, $181.5 million. And maybe by the time you're watching this video that he has. But I don't know. But we're going to find out what Julius Randle values here pretty quick. Does he want to win a championship? Does he want to do whatever he can to help the Knicks win a championship? Or does he want to make the most money possible? Either way, it's cool with me. Because just because Jalen Brunson took the discount doesn't mean he should. But definitely put some pressure on him. And I bet the Knicks thinks it puts some pressure on him. But in the NBA, your job is to make as much money possible, and I'll never fault a player for trying to go out and get the bag. Kenya, what's up, bro? How far do you think we can go with the current roster on paper? I feel we can go all the way. Yes. I think this team can win the NBA Finals. And this is like living in the world of what if, right? If we go into the playoffs and Brunson's healthy, Bridges is healthy, Anunoby's healthy, Randle, Robinson, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Precious, and Deuce. If those 9 players are healthy and that 3-time All-Star, that 2-time All-NBA player, if regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs and everyone else is healthy, I think the Knicks win the championship because you'd have the best point guard in the East, and you would have another guy that's a 2-time All-NBA player to go with OG, McHale, Hart, Chenzo, and Robinson. The biggest X factor in the NBA this year is Julius Randle. If he plays up to his potential in the playoffs, the Knicks might be NBA champions for the first time since 1972-73. John Pettit with $100 super chat. He says, F Boston, we're coming for you this year. Now let's all get behind our Knicks this year. All positive all year. Let's go Knicks. I need everybody to give me an F Boston in the chat. If you're watching and you don't type F Boston, I'm going to assume you're a fan of the Miami Heat. Give me an F Boston in the chat. And hit me up on social media so we can continue the conversation, especially if I didn't get to your question today. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up and let's go Knicks.